Good evening. Everybody can hear me? It's not.
Yep, I'll turn it off.
Good evening.
That's it.
Much better? Thank you very much. Glad to be here. It's been a year since the last time I spoke. Before I begin to talk about my practice, which I'm sure everybody's anxious to hear more about me, in your tables I put a flyer on the Learnomics 2013, Succeeding in the Business of Law. I've been to this seminar. This is my third year that I've been to this conference. This year is going to be in Vegas. I'll tell you why I go every year. It works. My practice has grown since I've been attending these workshops, also since advertising in Alamo. So I wanted to invite you. I usually do not endorse any companies or products, but this is something that is working for me. I believe that anybody who attends will come out recharged, will come back recharged, or also will come back with ideas that will help you build your practice and strategize. We believe in the referral-based business model. There are many other opportunities out there to generate business, and I will certainly, you'll come back with tremendous ideas that will certainly work for you. I want to switch to my practice. My name is Rich Sierra. I'm the founder of the Florida Small Business Legal Center. What I do is that I focus my practice strictly on small business law. Not such thing as small business law, but the type of clients that I work with are small business owners. Businesses that want to go into business, that they want to buy a franchise. Business that has a partnership dispute, that the business owner, for some reason, has a fallout with the other business owner. They end up in litigation. Usually, the one that ends up in my office is the one that has the least amount of money. It happens all the time. The approach that I take with my practice is simple. I try to solve the problem. Business owners don't have the time or the patience or the resources to have a long litigation over time. They just don't have it. So my approach when I look at a business owner is say, okay, this is the problem that we have. What can we do with the resources that you have to solve it? It's like when you go to a mechanic, when you go to your car mechanic. You have a problem with your car, you have a sound that doesn't sound right, you go to the mechanic, you dread going to the mechanic, but you know you have to go. And they say, okay, you leave me the car here, I want to drive it around and give you an estimate. You're dreading that estimate. Okay? And you get the estimate, sometimes you feel relief, sometimes she's like, oh, okay, I have to do it. Well, that's exactly the way they feel they come to our office. They don't want to come to our office because they just have extra money to spend. Okay? They come to our office because they absolutely need us that day for a legal problem, in my case, a business problem, that needs to be solved as soon as possible because they want to go on with their lives. So that is the approach that I have, that I take. Most of my cases, if not all of them, get settled. And that's what I focus my practice on. I look at the business owner and say, listen, let's try to get this resolved. It might not be perfect, but you know what? Once it gets resolved, you can go on with your life. Because having a business owner tell them it's going to be 2 years of litigation, what they will do, they'll say, you know what? I just don't have it. They can have everything. It is not worth it for them to throw good money after bad money. So that's the approach that I take with my practice. Problem solving. And clients appreciate that. They appreciate the honesty. They appreciate the candor. They also understand, and I'm very sensitive to that, to the resources likely up that they have and how much they have to invest in the program and the litigation that they have. The type of clients that I like to have in my practice, or the referrals that I would accept. Clients that understand that they have a business problem that needs to be resolved. Clients that understand that they need an attorney. They need legal representation to solve that problem. And I want to clarify that. Sometimes some clients like to do things on their own and they look for attorneys to get information and kind of go on their own. Those are not good clients simply because they go on their own and they make legal problems. Clients that have the ability to pay for services, but also the willingness to pay for services. And that is a clear distinction. Because they have to understand that once they go to your office, they come to our office, they will have to pay for our services. We sell intellectual properties, we sell knowledge. And with our knowledge, we're given certain tools to help the client to come from our office with a product, to leave our office, eventually in some time, they can go on with whatever their lives without the legal problem. Maybe we'll see them again, maybe not. Maybe it's something more positive, like buying a business, or something more transactional, as opposed to a litigation or a complex or adversarial time adversarial type of case. Have 2-minute warning, so I want to tell you a story that I think most of you will relate, not all of you. I was at the doctor's office the other day, just had a cold, and like all of us, sometimes we go to the doctor, and the doctor was going to give me some medication that usually everybody gets for colds. And usually, he gave me a different one this time, and I knew it was very expensive. And I said, you know, doctor, what about this other medication? It's kind of generic, and it's like $10. He looked at me and he said, I know, but this one, you're worth it. I just kind of like stood up a little straighter when he told me that, and I said, wow, that's pretty good. This is like $100. And I'm like, okay, so he said that. I had no comeback for the first time. I'm like, fine. I went back to the pharmacy, and I was going to get my medication, and ended up being $10 was covered by insurance. So I was like, but I was willing to spend $100 simply because he told me the 2 words, you're worth it. Okay, how many times prospective clients try to discount our fees? And you know what? Everybody tries to negotiate and get it fair. Okay? And I said, I'm going to use that sometime. Next time a client tells me, I want a discount, I'll tell them, you're worth it. And the reality is, when a client tells you they want to discount your fee personally, all of you are worth it. So it's to serve the fees that you're charging. Thank you.